Hi everybody. I had to recreate the lab from this past week because I'm not allowed to show students. So I'm going to tell you what I go through in class and how it looks. I have my black cup, which I had to design, and my clear cup, and I have the temperature probe that's going. It's currently making the graph. There isn't any temperature change yet because I don't have a heat lamp here at my house. So I'm at Grant Middle School. We do blended learning. Blended learning is where you set up stations in your class. It's kind of like centers from elementary school. So I'd have like a group of 8 students doing some sort of reading. I'd have another group of 8 students on what's called like Castle Learning or MobyMax. That is data collection sites that I can use to make sure that they're on task. And then another group sits with me, and this is how I conduct my labs. So we would have a group of students around this table. What I do is I show them what we have. So for this is, we're going to ask them a question. The question is, what cup do you think is going to absorb the heat from the heat lamp the fastest, and why? So after I ask that question, the students are going to sit around the table with me, and they're gonna discuss their ideas back and forth. And we're going to do that until I feel, as a teacher, comfortable enough to say, okay, you guys seem to have this. Let's now go conduct your experiment. I try to run this as it would be in a lab. You're never going to, in a lab, just go test something for the heck of it. You're always going to have a question. You're going to have to create a hypothesis. And then once you feel able to go do the experiment, at that point you would. So that's what I do at the front of my table. So questions would be like, the first question obviously is I just stated, what cup do you think is going to heat it up faster? And then I'll listen to what they have to say, and I'll facilitate the discussion to make sure they stay on task. This has worked out pretty well. This is a lab I have put on for the module. We have these data probes here. It just turned off on me, so let's see if we get it turned back on. From Ward Science, it's just a temperature probe. The kids love them. We use these as much as we can. It goes from there. This one actually is a little broken, so I have to hit it kind of hard. And it records that for us, and then we put it on the computer once all the data is there. So the kids kind of look like playing around with these. So that's how I would conduct my labs in class. One thing we would do is we would compare the graphs when we were done. So this one would be, it's currently in the white cup. We'd then put it in the black cup, or we would have 2 of them going. So we'd have another one going at this point. So 2 different data probes going, and we would compare the graphs on the data probe, and that would help them interpret which cup would go faster. So they would need to tell me while they're conducting the lab, after we've done the round table. I call it the round table. After we've discussed in the round table, I'd go to the groups while they're working and ask them if they can interpret the data from the graph and what the graphs are showing them. And they should be able to come up with the black cup is heating up faster. From there, after every group has completed it, from this station, we'd come back to the round table, and I would ask them another question. Was your hypothesis correct, yes or no? And I'm hoping from there they would be able to say, well, the data shows that the black heats up faster, and then we would have a discussion of why that happens. So that's how labs would be conducted in my class.